Jean-Michel Basquiat, born in 1960, was one of America's most charismatic artists. He had a lifelong fascination with anatomy, which was ignited by reading Gray's Anatomy as a child. He liked exploring the power and vulnerability of the human body. Basquiat never attended art school, therefore his art was purely based on his own taste and experimentation. At 17, he was spray painting symbols and statements all over Lower Manhattan, and by 21 he was painting full-time, with his fame rising fast. His painting process could be considered as calculated improvisation. He used a wide variety of mediums like crayons, spray paints, oil sticks, and pencils. He insisted on depicting challenging scenes like representing identity and oppression, therefore marginalized figures always were at the heart of his work.
Of all the arrests this year, none has received as much public attention, though, as that of Michael Stewart, a young graffiti artist. On September 15th, 25-year-old Michael Stewart was arrested for scrawling on the wall of a subway station at 3 in the morning. 30 minutes later, Stewart lay in a deep coma at Bellevue Hospital's emergency room. Stewart never regained consciousness. 13 days after his arrest, Michael Stewart was dead.
Michael Stewart was an aspiring artist. Many East Village artists made works in response to his death, as he was a member of their community. While Stewart was in a coma, David Wojnarowicz produced a flyer advertising a protest against the near murder of Michael Stewart by the transit police. This is believed to be the inspiration of Defacement. The flyer portrays two police officers with skeletal faces and batons beating a handcuffed black man. Similarly, Defacement depicts two pink-faced police officers, each one holding a baton, and one with sharp, predator-like teeth. The abstracted, anonymous or shadowy figure is representative of Stewart. However, it could represent any black person who has been a victim of police brutality, suggesting that this wasn't just an isolated incident. It also enforces the idea of Basquiat's belief that it could have been him. He has reduced Stewart of his physical features to his skin colour, as this process of reduction to someone's skin colour was what ultimately killed him. The rudimentary style is almost taunting the transit police, like Basquiat is trying to tell them, don't kill people just because their skin colour is different to yours. The style could also be seen as childlike, possibly suggesting that anyone, even young children, understand this was not trivial and Stewart should not have died. It could also suggest the police officers were irresponsible and acted immaturely, believing that night was simply just fun and games. Like in Wojnarowicz's flyer, the cartoon-like figures juxtapose the grave and sombre nature of the incident. Basquiat used acrylic paint and markers to retain his technique of graffiti, as it is the language of the street. It is so simple anyone can understand. This is also emphasised by the white background and the lack of detail or marks, making the piece even more expressive. Basquiat stated, "I don't think about art when I'm working, I try to think about life." The piece is a spontaneous work, particularly as he created it on the wall of Keith Haring's studio. Above the figures, Defacement is written with a copyright symbol. This is to challenge the notion of property, which Stewart and Basquiat regularly did themselves with their graffiti. He is retaliating against the police's aim, which is to protect private property. Basquiat's response to police brutality and anti-black racism still resonates today with the Black Lives Matter movement. Chaudry Le Bouvier, creator of the exhibition Basquiat's Defacement, The Untold Story, says defacement does not have definitive answers to the current political climate, but it is very powerful to see an artist who is speaking their truth in an unfiltered way. Defacement stands as evidence of sorts, even before legal proceedings had begun, that Jean-Michel felt that justice would not be served, and the painting steps in as an alternative to the justice system.
I think there's a lot of people that are neglected in art. I don't know because if it's who made the paintings or what, but I don't know. I know black people are never really portrayed realistically, and not even portrayed. Not even portrayed in modern art enough.